In early 2026, electricity bills spiked across 43 states, a 9% jump nationwide. But in Virginia, prices exploded by 26%. The reason? Virginia is the data center capital of the world. And right now, the AI boom is draining its power grid. We think AI lives in the cloud. It doesn't. It lives in giant buildings that already use enough electricity to power 2 million homes. Now, state experts are warning that this AI boom could add $40 a month to a normal family's power bill. And the reason comes down to speed. Tech companies can announce new AI projects overnight, but building the physical power lines and transformers takes years. And when local power grids are forced to grow this fast, the power companies don't pay for it. They pass the cost to you. So why is the real world finally slowing down the AI race? And how did you get stuck with the bill?
Well, if your electric bill has gone up lately, you are not alone.
Electricity bills climb nationwide, rising faster than inflation.
So I got my electric bill this month, and it has doubled.
Our gas and electricity bill for this month, and it was $810.
Average electricity bill has spiked 23%.
I think that we all collectively should just stop paying our electric bill.
Virginia is just the warning sign, because this power drain is spreading across the country. Right now, data centers use about 4% of all electricity in America, but the Department of Energy projects that by 2028, that number could triple, hitting 12%. For the national power grid, that is a catastrophic shift. The official watchdogs who run the East Coast grid are already preparing for an unprecedented surge. They are making one thing clear: the sheer scale of the AI boom is making the future almost impossible to predict. So, this is no longer a tech story. This is a national power crisis. But demand alone does not explain why tech companies are building this fast. To understand the speed, you have to look at what they are actually fighting over. They aren't just competing for better software. They are fighting for physical territory. And that territory is made of microchips, industrial cooling systems, giant warehouses full of servers, and the land to put them on. In the AI race, whoever builds the biggest physical machine wins, and tech giants are spending unimaginable money to do it. OpenAI wants to dump $500 billion into US infrastructure. Microsoft is burning $80 billion in a single year just on new facilities. Google, Meta, and Amazon are doing the exact same thing. They are racing to lock down the American power grid before their rivals do. But this $500 billion sprint is about to hit a brick wall, because a press release won't power a server, and Silicon Valley money cannot outrun the laws of physics. Here is what that brick wall looks like. Before an AI facility can turn on, it needs custom-built, high-voltage transformers. But you cannot buy them off a shelf. Today, a single transformer takes up to 3 years to deliver. New power lines take 4 to 8 years to build. This delay is exposing a massive illusion. Tech companies are announcing projects that cannot actually be built. Out of all the AI facilities promised for 2026, less than a third are actually under construction. The rest are just empty announcements. Power companies are now rejecting AI projects because the custom equipment to connect them simply does not exist. At the same time, the national power grid is already maxed out. In Texas alone, operators are rushing a $33 billion expansion just to keep up with normal demand. And forcing the grid to grow this fast brings up the most dangerous question of all. When power companies spend tens of billions of dollars to upgrade these lines, who is going to pay for it? You are, because the power grid is a public system. When a tech giant demands huge amounts of power, local power companies have to build the infrastructure. But they don't eat the cost. They pass it down to every family on the grid. The threat is so severe that states like Georgia and Ohio are rushing to rewrite their laws, and trying to stop tech companies from quietly dumping these massive construction costs onto regular people. But here is the ultimate trap. What happens if power companies spend billions to upgrade the grid, and these AI projects get delayed? Or the bubble bursts? Those expensive power lines don't go away. They are already in the ground. And state experts warn you are still the one stuck with the bill. So, if the boom succeeds, you pay for the expansion. But if the boom fails, you pay for the empty grid. That is why this abstract tech race is suddenly turning into a local war. People don't experience AI as a smart chatbot. They experience it as a spiked electric bill or a massive construction site. They see high voltage power lines tearing through their backyards, until eventually, a room full of angry neighbors is forced to ask one question: should this even be built here? In Prince William County, Virginia, that question triggered a local war. The project was called the Digital Gateway. Developers wanted to drop 37 massive data centers right next to a historic battlefield. To understand the sheer size of this, picture 144 Walmart supercenters. That is the physical footprint of this AI project. Neighbors fought back in a public hearing that lasted 27 straight hours, but local officials passed it anyway. And state reports showed this is happening everywhere. 1/3 of data centers in Virginia are now built dangerously close to family homes. And for those neighbors, the biggest nightmare isn't the power lines, it is the noise. To keep these AI servers from melting, these buildings use massive industrial cooling fans. They produce a constant, low-frequency hum. It doesn't break normal noise laws, but for the families living next door, the sound never stops. Even the county's own zoning board admitted that these heavy industrial facilities simply do not belong near residential neighborhoods. So the question changes. Who exactly benefits from this? Because if everyday residents are fighting this hard to stop it, why do local politicians keep saying yes? Because to a local government, a data center isn't just a building, it is a massive payday. In Loudoun County, Virginia, data centers generate over $700 million a year, nearly 1/3 of the entire county budget. For politicians, that money means new schools and lower taxes. But for the people living next door, the deal is completely unfair. Because building these facilities takes over 1,000 temporary workers. But once the data center actually opens, it sits almost empty. It only takes about 50 full-time employees to keep them running. So the county gets millions of dollars, and the neighbors get the concrete, the power lines, and the constant hum. When the money goes to the government, but the burden goes to the neighborhood, the fight doesn't end at a town hall meeting. It turns into lawsuits. And those lawsuits are finally slowing down the AI timeline. In Prince William County, residents took the government to court and successfully stopped the expansion. In Oklahoma City, officials froze all new permits to protect their power grid. And from Maine to Minnesota, cities are rewriting laws, pausing construction, and bracing for court battles. So the pattern is clear. The AI industry doesn't just need microchips and power, it needs permission. And across America, that permission is being denied. The easy path is officially closed. So if tech giants can no longer force their way through the front door, what exactly is their backup plan? And how are they quietly rewriting the rules to make sure you still pay for it? Here is the backup plan. If tech giants cannot use the public grid, they bypass it completely. Right now, the AI industry is spending billions to build private power plants directly next to their data centers. Or they demand exclusive, private deals from local power companies. On paper, this sounds like a solution, but in reality, it creates a terrifying new trap. When a massive power shortage hits a city, who gets priority? The local hospital or the AI server? This is why angry voters are screaming a simple slogan: just make big tech pay for it. It sounds easy, but the American power system is a mess with no central authority in charge. Building permits, electricity rates, and power lines are all controlled by completely different groups of officials. So when you say, make big tech pay, pay for what? The new power lines? The custom transformers? Or the massive financial damage if the AI bubble bursts? Right now, there is no single national law forcing their hands. But while politicians argue, a few states are finally protecting everyday people. They are forcing tech companies to sign contracts and pay for their own power lines. And that proves this whole crisis can actually be fixed, if the rules are ruthless enough. Just look at Louisiana. When Meta wanted to build a massive data center, the local power company refused to hand over the grid. They forced Meta to sign a contract paying for its own infrastructure. That single rule is projected to save regular citizens $2 billion. It proves the public is only robbed when local politicians fail to protect them, which brings us right back to where the story started, your monthly electric bill. The AI revolution is not happening in the cloud. It is the largest physical land grab in modern history. Tech giants are spending hundreds of billions to build these massive concrete facilities. But connecting them to the power grid costs billions more. So when the AI boom finally arrives in your city, are tech billionaires going to pay for what they build? Or are they going to make you do it?